What's up, everybody? I am back with a new TV show review. Uh, I took a bit of a intermission between reviewing like the last season of Naruto before I get into Shippuden, because I had the urge to watch season 2 of Duel Masters, because like a long time ago I did season 1 and haven't returned back to it, and I'm feeling a bit like nostalgic for some reason. So I quickly dived back into it. So I want to talk about it now. There's a season 3, but I can't find season 3 on anywhere, and I don't want to have to pay for it in some capacity. It just doesn't seem ultimately worth it. unless unless you guys like spam in the comments do season 3 so I can give my thoughts, then that'd be a different story. But anyway, picking up where we left off, because I know it's been years. Things have a lot changed. I had locks by the time back when I was reviewing Duel Masters season 1, and now I was like, my hair is, I need to get another haircut, but a lot has changed since then and now. Channel wise, personal wise, a lot's been going on. MCU was quite different back then than it is now. So yeah, it's been a while. So anyway, picking up where we left off, Shobu's having like a tough time trying to control the creatures he's summoning. His Borshak dragon, it's like anytime he summon it, ends up going on a rampage. And he ends up meeting this scientist named Dr. Root, who moves his mouth like a bird beak for some reason. And once again, I love the whole fourth wall breaks in the show, and self-awareness is part of the charm I really love about this show. And of course, they still continue on playing the Duel Masters TCG, but I don't think they print it for English translation for Westerners anymore. I think primarily you get no, I don't want to say like, no, not the TCG. I'm talking about like, the TV shows. There's been shows since Shobu's Adventures, but only in Japan. I guess it wasn't like the popularity didn't reach the same heights as something like Pokemon or even Yu-Gi-Oh, which is a shame. It's fun. Like, I never actually bought. No, I gotta check. I don't think I actually bought Duel Masters cards, and they pretty. I mean, let me look it up because I'm pretty sure they're pretty freaking expensive. One second. Okay, let me see. Because there's been some changes. Now there's like creatures with dual civilization traits. There's a couple of here. It's like $40 or so. but just like with uh, chaotic, you really gotta scramble to find some good booster packs and what have you. It's just, you know, not much in terms of circulation as Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, or even Magic the Gathering. I think those three are like the top TCG cards that's always getting more circulation and popularity. Anyway, so Knight explains to Shobu that he's not a true Kaijudo duelist because he hasn't mastered control over his creatures. So after getting like a journal from his mom with a Bomedia Steel Dragon card inside, the journal is from it was written by his father, who is on his own journey, and he explains that he ran into the same issue and he ended up learning how to become a true Kaijudo duelist by traveling to the civilization lands. Now, rewatching this, I remember now, because prior to me rewatching this, it's like I was struggling trying to remember how they got to these civilization lands from the Earth realm. They traveling by train to different cities, each one having a gate leading into the creature world, the respective creature world that's like a have a symbiotic tie into that particular land or that city or whatever. But there's also like a guardian that's supposed to make sure, watch over and make sure no creature come over, stray into the Earth realm, and nobody strays into the creature realm. So Shobu decides he'll go on this journey. He goes with Rakuda, and they end up going to this this town. It's very bright, that has a tie towards the light civilization land. And each one has their own particular trial, in a way, to test the person who wants to travel into the creature world. And with these creature world, Shibuya ends up learning a particular lesson that coincides with the each civilization. So he ends up going to this city where the people there are acting, kind of weird, where they constantly challenge, well, part of the trial, constantly asking to duel, because they realize, what he's on a journey for. So there's like 1,000 duelists, like almost everybody there is a duelist. So Shobu has to duel and win each duel. He cannot lose not once, which shows some level of endurance and tenacity, because and skill level, because he beat them all without losing a single one. Because if he had lost even once, he has to remain in that city and he couldn't leave. So he ends up beating them all, ends up going to the one of the head people of the city, his daughter walks, Shibu and Rakuda to this palace-looking area that leads to a doorway to the light civilization world, and meets this woman dressed as a knight and duels her in order to get to be allowed passage through. And he beats her. And by the way, we don't get to see that girl anymore or the father because all the other guardians and their family member that is a part of this whole situation of guarding the gates has like a return, except for the people with the light, because we kind of get stuck on this person guarding this gate, this woman. But it's like women, like they were kind of equally as involved in terms of the light area, but whatever. They kind of just forgot about it. You might as well just stuck with this guardian woman the whole way through. But anyway, one of the light creatures ends up bursting through, but the deck case that belonged to his father shines and repels back this out of control creature. As Shibu and I keep blanking on the boy's name, Rakuda, goes through and they enter the world of the light civilization. There, they come across this rogue figure who's part of this evil organization called Ploops. And the Ploops had a I can't remember all their freaking names, but each one has like a different hair color and design representing a particular civilization that they're respectively trying to manipulate. The Ploops' goal is to, conquer the world by poisoning each of the civilization and get the creatures under their control in order to rule and take over the Earth realm. Shibu managed to take on the a Ploop member, and I love the fact that each time he ends up combining with his fire civilization with the particular civilization he's visiting. So like he combines his light cards with the fire, water with the fire, etc., etc. So along on his journey goes then to the nature civilization, meets this young girl, Fauna, because her father and his old man is supposed to be like help guard the nature gates. The father's name Fauna. So his father's name Flora, and then the daughter's name Fauna. I forget which. Is, whichever one's the more feminine word between the two is just the girl. And she has like an issue with dueling. She don't like dueling. But she eventually get like even though she knows how to duel, because of some kind of trauma, she couldn't really like bring herself to duel anymore. But then two police members ends up kidnapping the father, so she, Rakuda and Shobu go to rescue him. In the midst of defeating them, these Bronze Arm Tribe troops, along with these, nature mosquito creatures, starts going on a rampage. But almost forgot. When Shobu was in a pickle, all of a sudden what's that fire creature called that runs really fast? I'm blanking on it. Its name. Um, crap. What was it? Because I don't want to have to remember right after the fact. Uh. Mm, what is it? Uh. Why is it not the freaking? Hmm. Pyro Fighter Magnus. I didn't see it, but it just popped in my head. Fighter Magnus. He keeps popping up, handing Shobu a unique civilization card to help control and purify the out of control creatures of the respective land. So forgot what light card that he gets, but uh, in nature he gets a stratosphere giant to get the creatures there under control. Oh no, I kind of went ahead. I completely skipped over the water civilization. The same thing happened there, but it was a whole thing where Shobu and Rakuda was getting into some kind of like petty little argument that caused like a misunderstanding where the guardians of the water civilization thought Rakuda was the chosen one that's supposed to be getting everything under control before like the world goes into turmoil. However, Shogun was revealed to be the one, and they go and put a stop to one of the Plute members there. So then they go to the nature one, rescue the father. Then they make their way to the darkness civilization, which Shobu has like a bit of a struggle with because the Guardians there, who turned out to be two twin brothers, who at first was working with or was trying to be like members of Plus, but then realized they were scumbags, and they went over to the good side after a bit, especially after getting their butt handed to them by crap, I'm blanking on his name. The cool guy with the long black trench coat, who, by the way, I don't really care for the voice actor because it was completely different from season one. Because it seems a little more. Cause the season two voice seems more high pitch in a way by comparison to the more subtle, cool, suave more voice. Because even to this day, I remember when Shobu first dueled this guy, he had this it's like this arrogance about him. It's like, because I'm an evil genius. Now it's like, now I'm an evil genius. Get out of my way. It's like, it seems it seemed off. I didn't care for that. It's like, I'm not sure what happened, because I'm just assuming that there's a change of voice actors. I'm not sure, what happened. Don't know if the previous voice actor may have passed away, or some, money situation might happen, or whatever. It's just a complete change that, they could have just, at the very least, tried to be consistent with the voice. Because it kind of set the tone to how I envisioned the character. But Shobu was struggling with this particular civilization because the Dark civilization, a lot of players tend to be a little bit more cutthroat, which the character is trying to explain to Shobu that he ain't cut out for this kind of mess. But he also showed that he has some level of care. He's not just evil, like in the previous season. He's just like one of those kind of edgelord rivals. But he knew what it took to get the job done. That's why he mastered. He's like the Darker Civilization master. But that's one of the lessons Shobu had to learn. Not necessarily the ruthlessness, but tenacity, a bit of an edge to the deck. Then finally they get to the Fire Civilization, and unlike the previous civilizations, this one doesn't have a guardian. So when the poop leaders who use a Fire Civilization deck decides to insert himself to be its guardian, just by the fact that there's no one's there, because no one wants to take the job, because they pointed out it's too hot here and no one wants to take the job. It was kind of wild. Think if I was writing this, I thought it would have been best to have Shobu's father would have been the guardian. That's probably why he didn't get back home, and he had to step away from this post because he had to deal with these poop guys, or something to that effect. It would have been more poetic if the guardian that Shobu has to duel is his own father, who he looks up to and is a pro in his own right. And speaking of which, his father ends up showing up, and he was the one who sent some Pyrofighter Magnuses to deliver each of these unique cards to Shobu, and he has to remind his son, in order to stop the chaos and keeping the creatures from barreling through their respective gates and rampaging on Earth, not only got to fight the Pluto members, him and his friends end up dueling against each of the Pluto members that we dealt with previously. But Shobu, getting ahead of myself, Shobu ends up giving each of his friends the particular card he got on his journey. Like Boy George get the water one. I'm blank on the other guy, the guy who deals with the light cards with the perfect hair. He gets the light one. Mimi gets the nature. He tries to give Rakuda, which is a whole waste of time with a sad sack moment. Try to give the darkness card to Rakuda, but Rakuda is not really a skilled duelist, and now we got this whole sad sack. I'm sorry, Shabu. I wish I was better. And it's like, you help me along the way, recruiter. So you're just as much as a part of this team as any one of us, and blah blah blah. I'm glad Boy Joy's at the point that I was look, I hate to break this little sad sack moment, but we got business to handle. So, well, the guy with the leotard shows up, and he couldn't, even though he plays a darkness deck, he's not skilled enough, in this. So they end up going to find that what's his name? He's like a bit of like a loner, but they end up tracking him down, and just by helping him from being crushed by falling debris caused by a rampaging fire creature, he agrees to lend a hand. So they are going back, reconnoitering and taking on each of these Plume members. And of course, the others have no problem. I kind of wish the duels were a little bit longer, because that's the thing. My slight gripe, because they don't do this often, but my slight gripe with this show is that I kind of wish they, showcase the duels a lot more, because like when you see like a duel in Yu-Gi-Oh, since it is a card game type of show, you want to see the length of the duel, not get too sidetracked about what's going on around it, because they did a lot of that in season 1. Here is, I feel, there's a little bit too many distractions and not on the focus on the duel itself, because unless you're, I don't know, it's just like when you're watching Yu-Gi-Oh and you see Joey duel against Weevil in Battle City, the primary focus, at least 80% of the focus, is on the duel. You see, how nearly every card is being played and the strategy is being acted out. And every once in a while we get 5 or 10% of that time, seeing what Serenity's up to in the hospital as they watch it on computer kind of situation. And I kind of wish he kind of did the same thing, because I just want to see the strategies and stuff being played out, and it seems kind of rapid. I don't care for that. But as Shibu is dueling against the leader of the Plume members, he implements all the lessons he learned from each of the civilizations, like loyalty from the light civilization. He learns about flexibility from water civilization. He learns about patience in nature civilization. He learns about tenacity from darkness civilization. And from fire civilization, he learns about the blazing spirit kind of situation. And utilizing all those lessons, he ends up beating the Plume members. And each of the friends sends out the cards that they use to purify all the corrupted creatures. They end up going and each of the civilizations and purifying them before they end up breaking through the barrier and rampaging through Earth. Everything is all well and good. The Plumes are dealt with. You don't see them get arrested or anything like that. They just they're done. Everybody go back to their respective lives, but Shobu's father, he is he didn't come right back home. He still has a couple of stuff he has to handle, loose ends he has to handle. And then the wife, she's weird sometimes. Like, oh no, I waited 5 years. What's a little bit more? You can't spell denial without something. I forgot what she rhymed it with, but it's like, okay, she's just weird. Uh, uh, but Shobu and his friends wants to continue on learning how to improve their dueling before the next season, as they put it. So they want to hang around with Dr. Root a little bit more to learn to improve their skills. And that's where Duel Masters ends, at least in season 2. Kind of wish there was like a way for me to watch season 3, because I want to, because there's only 3 seasons with Shobu's adventures, and feel a little bit incomplete by not getting a chance to see it, and I don't want to pay for it. But that was Duel Masters. Like I said, I had a lot of fun, but yeah, I had a few issues here and there, but I will see you guys in a little bit. I got a reaction videos I really wanted to get through, so I want to blaze through this. So, and it's gonna take some time, but I will see you guys in a little bit. Take care, and leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think of Duel Masters. Do you still play the card game? And how has it changed since early 2000s when I was first introduced to it? Because it only was like a year or two when I realized they're now doing dual civilization typings. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Take care.